Today's episode is brought to you by Myro. Get 50% off your first order and get started today for just $5. Visit mymyro.com/braincandy and use promo code BRAINCANDY. Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Welcome
That's
to
a good one.
Welcome to the Brain Candy Podcast, episode 280. We are in the middle of December already. Things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is bonkers. I don't know.
The weather outside is not frightful. It's actually rather
for us.
delightful.
Yeah.
I know.
I think it's frightful elsewhere.
You were complaining last episode about how, like, whatever you want to call it, about how I, like, never use an umbrella. But I will say I have received a lot of sunburns.
Oh, right. That's
so I think
the hazard.
It all evens out in the end. And you know what heavy rain doesn't come with? Long-term sun damage that makes you look older.
No, just chronic depression.
Okay, there you go. Either way, we're getting old.
That's a good question. Would you rather be depressed a lot of your life or just look like garbage?
Oh my god.
But be fine with it.
Look like garbage.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That is a real tough
I'm
choice
totally
for
okay
me.
with that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Well, because you would think looking like garbage would then make you depressed, but maybe it wouldn't.
Of course, there's like, every now and then there's like a perfect storm of, we'll call it lack of self-care and like basic maintenance that happens to me, where my roots will be way too long. All the areas on my body need to be waxed, and it simultaneously coincides with my period. And when that happens, forget it. It's like I look in the mirror and I'm like, you're a monster.
You know what is annoying though? Like, first of all, you always look nice. And also we went out the other night together, and remember did you catch when I caught the photographer staring at you? Were you privy to that?
No, I did not.
So you were having a conversation with our friend Patrick, and across from me was the photographer, and you were going on and on about the movie and whatever. And the guy was looking at you like his eyes had glazed over, like,
oh my God.
And I knew she could make me happy, happy.
It's just because I told him I liked his beard.
I don't know. I mean,
I set him up.
And I called him out. I'm like, dude, are you okay? You glazed over. And he's like, you caught me. I was just mesmerized. So this is what happens when I go out with Sarah, is like people lose their mind. They can't even, you don't even notice, which is very nice, and you're very humble, but you have a real effect on people.
Oh my gosh, Suze. Well, I think maybe you just bring it out in me or something.
I don't think
What do we call it? So I have to tell people this because we discovered something about my BDE.
Yes. Sarah has it.
But I'm a grower, not a shower.
Right.
That's what Susie says.
So
I only have it every now and then. And, I got to be warmed up first. And then when it's...
So what happened was, as you guys know, I love the actor Patrick Fabian, and he was kind enough to invite Sarah and I to his movie premiere. And so I was like, Sarah, I'm just a little nervous because I've never actually met him in real life, and I just adore him. And I mean, Sarah's BDE came out so hard. And
pun intended.
Remember when she said she does not have BDE, or claimed like that was situational? Well, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I was on a date with you, and you were like the dude, and you took over.
Yeah. I'll get you that popcorn. I'll get you that glass of wine you want.
What happened?
I might eat all your popcorn.
What happened in that moment?
I don't know. Maybe it's like you put me in the dry, and like you're like, here, take the reins.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I will.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes like I think in environments where I feel the most, maybe not insecure, but like it's the most unknown, or like I don't have any expectations or don't know what's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like a fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, we're in survival mode right now. I got to just be like this. Like my on look, because I'm not like that when Landon's like, we're traveling and he's running the show. It's like I can kick back and relax. It takes energy.
Right.
I'm like drained afterwards because I'm like, whoo.
Everything about you changed.
I did a lot of swinging.
Your posture changed. Your gait changed. You were walking like with your big dick swinging. Like, nope.
I think that was the pants.
Maybe was.
Susie said she liked my pants, and I do that in certain pants, high-waisted, wide-leg trousers that are kind of like that, and I also do it in like cowboy boots, or like riding boots. Like when I have my boots on, I used to work at a beauty supply store, and whenever I would wear the boots, they'd be like, "Uh-oh, she's got the boots on today. It's going to be a big sale day." I would like sell more when I had the boots on.
I mean, it's real handy that you have that happen to you. I'm kind of jealous, but
Maybe I need to like look at that and think what.
I mean, I would say
it's kind of like Halloween.
What? Oh, you're
like when
putting
you wear
on the
costume.
mask.
Yeah,
I see.
If I dress like slutty cheerleader, somebody's getting boned.
Right, because it was like when we were in Brazil, when you took over and we were lost, and you were like, "No, it's no problem," and all of a sudden you were like my tour guide in a country you'd never visited.
I go into survival mode. Yeah.
But
yes, like I got it. We're going right here. Here's the thing. And when I'm I broke my own rule when I was in Italy and ended up getting sexually assaulted by that guy. But the rule is always, look like you know where you're going, you know what you're doing.
Walk with
and
purpose.
You can beat anybody up. Walk with a purpose.
If you do need some ass-kicking boots or some awesome high-waisted pants, you should definitely try Poshmark. If you haven't yet, you're missing out. This app and website is so great for if you want to list stuff that you're getting rid of out of your closet, or if you are looking for something you want to buy and you want to get a deal. How much do we love this Poshmark situation, Sarah?
I mean, if you haven't tried it, I mean, come on. I should tell everybody that you can go to my store right now because my husband's clothes are all listed on there, many of which have their tags on, and they will make excellent Christmas presents, all of which I will have shipped out to you ASAP because they're already almost boxed up and ready to go.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, you should use our referral code, which is I'm Sarah Rice, and that also happens to be Sarah's closet name. She lists all kinds of like challenge gear and her regular clothes and her husband's clothes. I have tons of clothes up, lots of them as well have tags, and you can make an offer, and my policy is everything must go, so make me an offer, and then you can get an even better deal, and I get to clean out my closet and then buy more stuff. That's what I'm saying. So
yes. I love that.
Just a reminder. So here's the deal. If you use that referral code, I'm Sarah Rice, you get $5 off your first purchase, which is great because a lot of the things are super cheap anyway, so you get an even better deal. And then my closet is Susie Meister, and Sarah's closet is I'm Sarah Rice. Give that a try. Sarah's been buying a lot of stuff on there.
Oh my God! Don't call me out.
Well, no, I like it because when I mentioned the other time that you should get Doc Martens, I think I'm going to get Doc Martens on there too.
Oh my God, you should.
What color do you think I should get though?
Oh, I think it would be kind of cute for you to have those. Like, there's like a cranberry red
like
color.
Those ones. Those are cute.
I think that would look cute on you. What was like? What do you have on your Christmas list that you're?
Oh my God!
Like shopping in Poshmark for? Like, what are the things that you're?
I've become obsessed with rings.
Looking for. With rings?
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, because I just feel like you can almost wear anything, and if your jewelry's on point, people think you're all dressed up.
Yes, I love that with the big statement necklace and just a white tank top.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of rings that I just ordered, actually, and they'll be coming in, and I'll take some pictures. You guys can see them.
Cool.
Wait, let me see. Oh, this is kind of similar. Do you want to know what Kate Middleton keeps in her purse?
Oh, yes. Can I guess?
She carries 4 items. Do you want to guess what they are first?
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
let me pull this up.
I'm going to guess
Let's see.
Some kind of hand cream or hand lotion.
Ooh, interesting.
A breath mint thing. And maybe lip gloss.
Very good.
And I would also say, like, is it like a toothpick or dental floss?
That's me.
That's you?
I'm obsessed with floss.
Oh, yeah. It's really important.
It really is, but nobody ever carries it.
Oh, I keep it in my center console of my car, those little picks.
Me too. So does Matt Neroni.
Oh, shout out to Matt Neroni.
He really does, though. Okay, here's what she keeps in her bag.
Yeah.
You got lip balm, because she keeps that in her bag. She keeps a compact mirror, which makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
She also keeps a handkerchief, which is a great idea.
Ooh.
Because you never know. Like, if you got to blow your nose.
You seem like a handkerchief type.
You know I am. I have like a million, from my grandma, handkerchiefs. I always have one on hand. And then the fourth thing, I was like, wait, what? I don't get it. Is blotting paper. You know how women use those?
Oh my God, Suze, that was going to be my first guess.
Why?
I should have fucking said that. I should have, because she gets photographed all the time and doesn't want to look shiny.
Who is looking shiny, though?
Creates like a powdery residue and you also have to use like a tool, and you could risk getting it on your shirt. Oh my God, I wish I could go back in time and just say that. I would have said it.
Sarah.
I knew that. I fucking knew it.
But wait a minute. Do you think this is mostly for just like people who have oily skin? Because
I think it's mostly for people. I think a lot more people than you think. And people with oily skin. Like, that's something that at the end of the day, I would really like to have in my...
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I think if you go all day without touching your makeup, you just kind of like blot it. But in California, because it's I think it's a state law that all public restrooms have to have those toilet seat covers. Toilet seat covers work excellent as blotting paper in a pinch.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, there's something about that material that absorbs oil, but not like makeup.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, weird.
How did you discover that?
The toilet paper thing? Oh my gosh, I read it's like some
life hack.
Yeah, but not even one that I've learned recently. Like, this is something I've known since before life hacks were called we called them that.
Do you think Kate Middleton has a cell phone?
Oh.
She must.
Oh, I wonder what her screen time is. Probably. I mean, I think she does, but I don't think she's like...
What is your screen time, your average screen time?
Oh, dude, I don't even want to look. I've been online shopping like a maniac, and I've been not able to sleep recently. I bet I'm up to like 3+ hours a day.
What do you want to guess what mine is?
Oh, I bet yours isn't as much as I think it is. 3.5 hours?
5.5.
Oh, okay. Well, it's holidays, and it's what you do for work, so it makes sense.
No, it's not holidays. I love you. That is not
Well,
why.
I don't know. I feel like on the holidays, you get like, there's like more, you need to be on the phone more, because there's like looking at Christmas stuff. There's a lot of reasons to be, I don't know.
Well, I read on my phone. All my books now are on my phone, so that's a lot of it.
Oh,
that's my number one app now.
Yeah. I can't stand reading on the phone. It really bugs me.
I know what you mean. I had to get used to it, but once I realized you could highlight passages and make notes, I was like, oh, this is so handy for me.
Oh, that is good. Well, and you can like add, 3 hours and 13 minutes is my average.
That's actually higher than I would expect, because you are not a phone person.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Well, and I just don't have a lot of opportunity during some... times to
during
use it.
the
Like,
day.
if I'm at the clinic, I just it's mainly between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. that I'm doing.
I think it's funny how
all my phone work.
Sarah will sometimes text me to be like, I am not going to be available for like 3 hours because I'm constantly texting her. Like, I feel bad for you because you have to let me know.
Why?
Like, you're like, Suze, it's like you're my caretaker.
I'm like, I'm here for you, but I need to go dark for like 6 hours.
Sarah is the best gift finder, though. How? Not gift.
Oh.
GIF.
Oh, GIF. Oh, thank you. I was like, well, yes, I do spend a lot of time finding the perfect gift. But GIF, yes. I pride myself on my ability to speak in GIFs.
Do you see them and then think, I'm going to save that? Or do you just know? How do you know about them all? They're so funny.
Well, I have a GIF like keyboard installed.
Oh my God.
So on my phone, like when I text you, there's like, just like how the emojis come up.
I need
as
that.
an option. Yeah, I'm going to give it to you, right? It's called Tenor, Tenor.
All right, I'm going to get that.
And then it'll let you search by category. So you can click on, like, whatever or annoyed, or you can, like, just type in. So, like, I typed in for that one I just sent Susie at one of, like, a girl drinking Chardonnay, like one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like, drinking a glass of wine, going, like, whatever, I do what I want, or I don't know what she said, something like that. And I just typed in whatevs, and that was what gave me that option.
It made me so
you gotta be
happy.
creative with what you type in.
I guess that's
they make me happy too.
It's probably a millennial thing. I did read this article this morning actually about, you know how they always say that millennials ruin everything, you know, like napkins and
avocados.
Yeah, right. Well, now the latest thing is that the tuna manufacturers, tuna fish, that put it, you know, canned tuna, they're blaming the fact that they say millennials don't have can openers, which is, they claim, why their numbers are dwindling.
That's not true. It's because nobody wants to eat tuna fish sandwiches.
Except you.
Which is weird because Landon asked me what I would like for lunch today, and I said a tuna fish sandwich, and he's making me a tuna fish. It probably is already made.
You do love tuna fish more than the average person, though.
I fucking love it. Why do I love tuna fish so much?
Well, I don't know, because apparently this is a millennial problem where I don't think it's the can openers. I think it's...
Do you think we have guilt about the dolphin thing, and it's like people don't want to eat it because now they associate tuna with, like... Do you think it's that?
I do. I think it's that.
I think so, too.
And the fact that it smells, and, like, where are we going to eat it? We're always on the go. We don't want to eat it in our car.
Oh, true. And even if you're putting it in a work refrigerator, like, I always eat it in a place where I'm not, like, in the main, like, main computer area where everybody else is. In the main office in the clinic, I eat it in, like, the lunchroom.
Yeah, like,
away
you'll
from
buy
people,
it on your way to my
like
house, and then you'll just eat it in the car or something. Like, you won't even bring it in.
Yeah. Yeah. Except when I do, and then I always forget it in the fridge. So you probably have, like, sandwiches of mine you've had to throw away.
That's for sure. But I just think...
For sure.
I think it's funny, though, when companies won't just, like, take stock and look at their own... maybe failings and how they haven't adapted to changing times and just be like, yeah, millennials don't have can openers. I'm pretty sure they do, jackass.
Right. Yeah, I mean, how? Yes.
And you can buy them in the pouch and stuff like that. Fuck off.
Yeah. And
but
I've noticed that I was definitely conscious about what kind of tuna I bought. And I did not want to buy I bought like the low mercury, like naturally caught or whatever it is, like no trolling or netting or whatever they call it. I think it's trolling.
Well, and that's the thing is that millennials are more conscious consumers, and if you are a more conscious consumer, you want to try Myro deodorant, which is so nice because it's natural and doesn't have the chemicals that people, are not feeling good about. No parabens, no aluminum.
And it's effective.
Yeah, it actually works. So you smell like a dreamboat. Yes. And you can pick a scent, you can pick the case and the color, and then you get a refresh every 3 months delivered straight to your door. So, like, the case you reuse, so that's nice and, socially conscious.
Yes.
And the scents you can change up. You can change your mood, whatever you're feeling. Good for the planet, and it works. And here's the deal. You can get 50% off your first order. Get started today for just $5. Visit mymyro.com/braincandy and use promo code braincandy to get 50% off your first order for just $5. That's really great.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Come on.
And it's delivered right to you. You're never going to run out and smell like a beast.
I just love the scents that they have, I think, are so good. Because I don't want to smell
They're different.
Yeah, I don't want to smell like that baby powder, weird, or like a field of flowers or whatever the heck they have. These are more like
field of flowers.
Yeah, they always have some weird name like sunset. I don't know.
These are really nice.
Like
they have really good stuff in there. You can get like ginger. There's like citrus. There's all kinds of goodies.
Yes, I think a sandalwood one I really love.
Oh, yeah. I like that, too.
Yeah, I really love it.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm sick of people blaming millennials for everything, even though I sometimes do it, too.
Yeah.
Did you read about the Russian cannibal couple?
What? Oh, my God. I can't even deal with that. What is happening? Tell me everything. Not okay.
Not okay. So there was this couple in Russia who got caught because they had discarded a cell phone. And I don't know how it ended up in the street, but these construction workers picked it up and were looking at the pictures. And boy, did they get an eyeful. They were pictures of these dead people. There was even a picture of one beheaded person, like a head.
Wait. They left this cell phone, like somebody found this,
street.
and this was
And there was like a platter with a head on it with like vegetables and fruit around it. Like crudité.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a couple?
Yes, and they were...
This really proves that there is somebody for everybody out there.
There's a lid for every pot.
There's a lid for every pot.
They would give these people sedatives, evidently, and there was a lot of people too. I think at least 30. And
okay,
as if that wasn't bad enough, you're going to die, but they skinned them alive.
Oh my God!
I know.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Can you? I just
this
don't
is
get
like
it.
when you see this. This is like when you see this on Criminal Minds or some shit like that, and you're
you
like,
think that
good
this
thing
would
this is
never
a television
happen.
show because
Yeah.
this would never happen, except that it does.
Okay, you're the therapist. Now put on that hat just for a second to help me and the listeners understand.
Man. I don't know.
What the devil? Is it just, what is that? Psychosis? What?
I mean, I have no idea. I think that's so out of my scope of competency and practice. I can't even begin to speak on why that. I don't have. This is not like, what did I get right the other day?
Oh yeah, the needles in the strawberry.
This is not that, because I have no clue what would. The only thing that I know is like the couple combo, like the alpha and the submissive, like the, that there's something to that of
I get what you're saying,
and how it like just they play off of each other. And
but like, do you think it's like sex stuff though?
No, I bet it's more like there's got to be something that they've gotten in their mind, like that this is like a ritual for something, like that it's like gives
thing?
you life, or it's kind of like that, that drinking of the blood stuff. Like I feel like they've got to have, just like how we were talking about in another episode about how the brain's job is like to convince you that what you're doing is the right thing. Like they have some defense for why this is. I couldn't imagine what it could be.
I know,
you
right?
know?
Well, and that's the thing. Like when how I write to the serial killers and stuff, and I really love getting insight about, like when they write back, they usually answer my questions, and I really appreciate it because I think it's very hard for, sane folks to even get to the place where they could understand that clearly we're interested because there's this true crime obsession, but they never provide enough for me to be like, okay, I get it. With the exception, I would say, of the Unabomber, who he believed in this philosophy and he thought this was the best way to get attention. Now, obviously, I disagree with him, but okay, that's a reason. But for a lot of them, I guess unless it's sexual, I'm baffled.
Maybe this is like maybe it just goes down to like some biological urge.
You mean like their brain waves got?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows, dude? I don't know.
I'm going to put that in the newsletter because even though I probably should have done a trigger warning. So I have a post.
They eat each other. That's the like. I mean,
and I think that's why a lot of people get into like Jeffrey Dahmer. He's a very, intriguing character because he would have normal conversations, but then he's like eating people.
Oh my God. Oh,
I love when you're outraged. I gotta say,
I am. I may think twice about biting my nails today.
Wow, you think of it in the same category?
I don't know. I think about that sometimes because sometimes I like pick at my cuticles, like when I have a hangnail.
And you're so interesting.
I definitely am like, nope, bleh, get that. It feels like I can't, like, oh, God, can you imagine eating your own skin?
Well, I've
Bleh.
heard people compare, you know how you'll say to a kid, like, or even your partner, you'll be like, I love you so much I could eat you up. I want to eat you up. And how maybe it's that, but like times a million.
Yeah. Oh my God, Suze.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Because I do know that there's an actual thing in our brain that happens. Ooh, I feel like I want to Google this real quick. So, you know, it's mostly in women. Men do not have this.
Okay.
Or at least not that I know of. Where when we see a baby, we want to bite their, like, chubby legs.
Yes, that.
Okay, that's a real urge. And it like hits, somebody said, where did I hear this? That it's the same part of your brain that tells you that you're, like, hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Or... I'm going to just Google why do we want to bite babies.
If we ever get charged with a crime.
All I typed, that's true. That's true. But all I typed is why do we want to bite? And it says our loved ones, our babies, things we love.
Oh my God.
And the first article that comes up is from Scientific American. So it was not weird things.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, it says the urge to nibble cute creatures might be a case of getting one's wires crossed.
Yep.
In a recent study, researchers performed functional magnetic resonance imaging scans on women who unwittingly sniffed newborn infants. The odor activated reward-related areas of the brain, the same regions that trigger a pleasurable rush of dopamine when we get our hands on a desirable bit of food.
Wow.
A similar neural effect was reported in an early study when women viewed images of babies. Okay, and then the last thing, the research suggests that to some degree our brains respond in a parallel way when perceiving cuteness and seeking food. Huh.
See?
Wow.
Our
and
wires
it says
are
a kind
crossed.
of friendly social biting may be part of our evolutionary heritage.
Maybe that's why you bite your cheek.
Oh, I do that.
You do?
Oh my
You
God.
like that feeling?
Oh, it gets especially worse when I substituted biting my nails for biting my cheek. And now I'm like, well, that's not good. Maybe I should start tapping on the steering wheel of my car when I drive or something. I gotta like do something that's not like eating my own body.
Well, maybe the explanation for something like the Russian cannibal couple then is as simple as their wires got crossed, but just in a more extreme way. And then it was exacerbated by a partner who had the same bizarre malfunction.
Wow.
Who knows?
Yeah. There's a primatologist named Susan Perry who's at the University of California, Los Angeles, and she and her colleagues have seen capuchin monkeys bite one another in these like seemingly ritualistic ways where they clamp down on fingers hard enough to trap them, but apparently causing no pain. And they think that the monkeys are testing their social bonds this way and sending the message of like, I'm so trustworthy, you can stick your finger in my mouth and I won't even hurt you.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's like a way of them to say, like, don't worry, you're safe with me because look, I can put your finger in my mouth. That would be a way of me to hurt somebody else, and I don't even want to.
Trust fall.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I do that to Landon sometimes. I'm like, come here, I need to bite you. And when I do, I get that dopamine rush, and I'm like, oh, it's like drugs.
Yep,
and he's like, you're
that.
such a weirdo.
See? Yeah.
I love it. And I think it's got to only be in women. I don't know if men have this.
Well, I know something else I love and is for women is Third Love bras.
Love them.
Perfect fit. As you guys know, I was ready to give up on bras altogether because whatever. But then I finally found one that fit, and I was like, oh, I don't have to actually go around braless. I can wear one that feels good and is comfortable, high quality. They have a 100% fit guarantee. Sarah, did you try the new cotton collection yet?
No,
That's
not
what you need.
yet. I got my lace one, though, and it feels sexy.
I think you'll love it. The cotton one I got, it's so great, and it's so comfortable. It's incredibly soft, smooth, breathable bras. You'll want to wear them every day, finally. And Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they are offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/brain now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/brain for 15% off today. I'm never going to wear another one. I'm sold. They're so great.
And let me tell you, everybody's probably wearing the wrong bra size.
Well, I know. What is with that?
Because I thought I was a 34 or 36A. I'm a 32B.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
And now you got the right fit.
And these fit way better. And I'm like, oh, there are my boobs.
Her boobs are happy now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay, wait.
Speaking of shopping for stuff, I have just to vent about some stuff. I have to vent about Christmas shopping.
What?
And like, there are like 1,000 things that annoy me about this. I swear that stores like big box stores like Target and even like Nordstrom and Macy's, they have changed the way that they lay out the store, like the way that they put up clothes and how much stock they keep and everything to make you have a million fucking trips to their store.
Like, why? What do you mean?
So here's what I think is going on. So I'm noticing that at a place like Target, they have way more options, like a ton of items, a ton of variety, but only a limited stock out of every one. So rather than having like 20 sweatshirts in a range of sizes, they have like 5 and 2 smalls and 1 medium or whatever. So then they're always out of the size I need. So then I have to buy it online. Mm-hmm. And then what they do is they say, would you like free pickup at the store to buy this one item, or would you like to have it shipped for a fee? And so you go, oh, well, I need to pick it up. And so you have to go pick it up. Yeah. And then what do you do when you go pick up? You do more shopping.
Yeah.
So I am in this constant buy, return, because then half the shit that I order online, it comes and like there'll be a stain on the pillow that I ordered, or there'll be like, it'll like be damaged in some way, or it won't fit, or because I don't get to try it on. And
so you think that they're purposely not stocking the stores?
Yes, to encourage people to go online, buy stuff, and then have to do this return to the store. Like, so for every one trip that people attempt to make, they get 2 to 3 trips out of them.
Wow.
I'm convinced,
Conspiracy.
and this is the first year I've noticed it.
I know what you're saying.
It's across the board. It's at Nordstrom. It's everywhere I go. And then they're like, well, we can ship this to your house. We get, and I'm like, no, because then I'm going to have to come by and pick it. It's like they give you the option. You pay for it so you don't have to go in there and spend more money, or ship to store for free.
Right.
I'm like, wow, this is weird. And, I don't know. It's just like...
Do you have a long list? Do you buy a ton of stuff?
I just have a lot. We still have a lot of relatives that are in that fun gift buying age, like Landon's little sisters and his nephew.
Oh, right.
And... even my brothers, and, well, they're a little older,
my God.
But still.
I am so sorry to interrupt you, but I've just thought of something, and I can't wait to tell you.
Please,
when you said nephew, it reminded me, when I was in Pittsburgh, I went over to my sister Renee's house, and her husband is a nurse, and he was telling me, because I was asking a lot about the shooting at the synagogue that happened, because,
oh my God, yes.
It's so terrible. And would you believe my brother-in-law treated the shooter?
Oh my God.
And he because he's a nurse in the ER, and the shooter was brought to the hospital, and they had to treat him for the gunshot wounds. And he, at one point, vomited on another one of the male nurses. I don't know why I just said male nurses. That's like accidental sexism. Mm-hmm. And he happened to be a Jewish nurse. Mm-hmm. And the shooter doesn't know that, but the shooter apologized for vomiting on him. And after he's just killed 11 or 12 people that day. Can you believe? Talk about
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to. I don't know how he worked on him.
Right.
It would be really hard for me. I mean, I know they take that oath and that whole thing, and oh gosh,
I was like,
this is the same.
What was he like? And he just was like, he was like a normal white guy. Literally, that's the only description. Like, there's nothing to say. He was just like a normal white guy. And then,
so what do they do when he's in the hospital? Do they have him like
they have guards and
handcuffed
stuff.
to the bed?
I don't know about handcuffs, but they definitely have guards and guns and all that
That's
stuff.
so freaky.
And then the crazy part is my nephew, Grant, is a physical therapist, and he is treating the victims.
Oh, my God.
And
the whole family is
I know.
It's like they're involved.
I thought, what
Suze,
a fascinating...
I'm so sorry.
It's just so interesting to me that, like, it's a beautiful thing, actually, that, we have this system in place that treats... If you have an injury, you're going to get the care that you need, hopefully. Yeah. But it goes the same for the victims and the shooter. It's just crazy to me. And then just the incongruity of the shooter's mind, where he's just killed a bunch of people, shot up a synagogue, and he's apologizing to a nurse for vomiting. It's just crazy.
You know what the weird thing, though, is it's almost like, one he could control and one he couldn't control. It's like one was his choice and one wasn't. And I feel like he's more apologizing for, like, I don't think this guy is filled with empathy. Like, but I don't know.
It's so you would be less inclined to apologize for something you couldn't help. But
of course,
right? I just can't get it out of my head.
Ugh. No, I can't. I couldn't imagine how you could. And then just to have that in your hometown, where I know you talked about how you visited that church and synagogue, and how you could have easily known people who were going there or whatever. Like, you're in that world, and it's like,
well, and it's particularly
so scary.
Profound.
It becomes very real.
Oh, especially when it's a hate crime directed at a very specific group of people. And I read this article that really made me think. It was about how on that day, how Facebook does the thing where you can mark yourself safe. Well, a Jewish gal wrote an article saying how offensive she felt that it was that Gentiles were marking themselves safe, like non-Jews.
Oh, I think so too.
And how it's like, we know you're safe. You weren't at temple, like.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I just had never even thought about it, like how that would bother me as well if I were her.
Well, and anytime people do like sweeping, like statements like, oh, we have to protect all people or all, like, no, dude, it was us that had that. Like, no, come on. I don't know. I totally get that.
Me too.
That would make me mad.
Yeah. And she was like, we know you're not Jewish. This was a hate crime. It wasn't like a natural disaster.
Oh, you're fine. It's like, could you imagine? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry. I totally hijacked your lovely Christmas story of presents to tell you my terror.
Well, I mean, I started with venting about Christmas, so
that's true. We'll keep
mine was just going to be more complaints, more complaints about like, oh God. I mean, I'll add one more to the list that I need you to side with me and share in my frustration with.
Okay.
So, when you're paying in cash and say your total is $5.86.
Yes.
And I give you $5.90 so that you give me less pennies back. Or even I give you over the amount so that you give me
so then I give you a nickel. Like you'll give an extra penny and
instead
then I give
of 4 pennies.
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
What are you mad about?
It's like they can't understand what I'm telling them. They don't understand. Like, I had this moment. This has happened 3 times so far in my Christmas shopping experience. It's like they're hiring new people for retail that are like just seasonal employees who maybe don't have experience working in retail. They're generally younger. Well, and 3 times I have given them, whatever the change is, I'll give them the amount of change so they can give me a $1 bill back. And it's like I've had to explain to them. They're like, I can't. I already opened the register. I already typed in that price. I'm like, I understand that, but I'm going to give this to you, and it'll be the exact same. Watch. And I have to like finish the transaction and then say, okay, now here's his change in my hand.
Sarah.
I'm going to hand this to you, and you're going to give me $1. And the people behind me in line are like rolling their eyes, like, oh my God, I can't believe they're not getting this. And I'm looking at them like, please back me up here, like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I just have to let it go.
I think it's because most people don't pay with cash, so they don't have as much experience with making change as like they did back when I was on the register.
Right. But then when somebody does do something like that, like does surprise me with their amazing ability to, like turn a return into a single transaction rather than two,
it's like magic.
Or they're like, oh, I know what we can do. We can just beep, boop, 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 like little workarounds. I'm always like, thank you. You are going places. This is not the end of the line for you. You are definitely, you have managerial potential. Big things happening for you. Big things. Huge. That's how I feel.
When you're out there doing like your winter sort of holiday shopping, you might want to hydrate. And if you do, you're going to need Liquid IV. Am I right?
Oh, that's going in my brother Lucas's stocking. Shout out to Luke.
Oh, that's a great stocking stuffer.
Yeah, and it fills up a lot of space, and they're so they fit in any size stocking.
These are little packets that have electrolyte drink mix in them. You throw them in your water, and you'll get the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water. Great for holiday party recovery, if you know what I mean. Little champagne situation. Great for travel.
Oh.
Great for winter dehydration. Like, everybody's sick right now. Everybody's like, under the weather. This is a great thing for staying hydrated and keeping those vitamins, because it has vitamin C, all that stuff in there.
Yes.
Or if you're just working out like a normal person. We love Liquid IV. We know you will too. Right now, our listeners get 20% off at liquid-iv.com when you use our code BRAIN at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order on Liquid IV's website. Go to liquid-iv.com and enter promo code BRAIN to get your savings and start getting better hydration. That's liquid-iv.com, promo code BRAIN. Don't wait to get hydrated today.
I went and got a facial the other day, and oh my God, it was the coolest. Oh, it was real nice. Landon recognized that I had been like running around like a crazy person and really needed just like time to myself. And so he was like, you better get a facial, or like, look at this amazing husband I have. Like, or a massage, and if I don't see that charge on the credit card, you are going to be in trouble. And I was like, ooh, like sexy trouble? Like, ooh, what does this mean?
Right.
But I was like, I've never been in trouble. Ooh, I'm a bad girl. But that's not the point. The point was I went to go get it, and I had never done this before, but they had this really cool machine where you put your face into this like black box with a little hood over it, and the lights go on, and it shows you what your skin looks like under ultraviolet light. And there were some big dark circles around my eyes, and she's like, that's dehydration. And you bet your ass I ran right home, and I was like, I'm liquiding IVing up for the next week. Like, I finally saw it, and I was like, ooh, that's not good looking.
What else was going on with you?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was just like some oh my God, this I have to share, because this I thought was like a genius piece of advice that was worth every penny just for this little tidbit. So I've been breaking out along my like chin and underneath my my chin area, but not like the bottom of my chin, like between my lip and my chin. And she asked me if I brush my teeth after I wash my face or after I take a shower in the morning. And I said, yes. And so I've been brushing my teeth, and I'm like not very diligent about wiping all like,
wow.
It's basically it's the toothpaste that's doing that to me.
No.
It's like I'm not washing my face enough after I brush my teeth, and toothpaste, amazing for brushing your teeth, not so good on your skin all day, especially if you have like, it's like saliva with it, because it's like the bacteria that's on my toothbrush and, or like whatever I just brushed out of my mouth and I'm supposed to be spitting up that I get on my chin, and then I just like wipe off with my hand or with a tissue. And she's like, no, you need to wash your face after you brush your teeth, and that'll clear up. This is the case in about 90% of the people I see with acne in this area.
That is crazy.
I know. And I'm like, oh my God, what a great piece of advice. I'll do that. Easy. And I've been doing that for the last like 4 days, and maybe I notice a difference.
I'm shocked, actually.
Me too.
Wow. Well,
It dries it out, and like toothpaste is supposed to do, and it causes your skin to produce more oil, and it gets all clogged there. So, yeah, wash your face after you brush.
That is a good tip. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to tell you. I'm trying to choose what I want to tell you. Mm-hmm. Did you know that on Shark Tank, changing the subject, the pitchers, whatever you would call them, the people that want to get funding, have to see a psychiatrist after, no matter what happens on the show, they have to go directly from the pitch to see a psychiatrist.
Dude, okay, here are my questions.
Yes.
Is it a psychiatrist specifically?
That is the word that was used, but maybe they're using it, incorrectly. Because I would imagine it would be a psychologist, actually.
Yes, because I feel like even a psychologist and a psychiatrist are not trained in relational or it's not like talk therapy. It's more like diagnostic and for I guess more serious mental disorders, but often they don't give a full hour. It's 15 minutes. So I wonder what. And I only know this because when I tried to get therapy after all that went down on the show, the person that they have who did the mental health evaluations before is a psychologist or psychiatrist, and they straight up told me, I don't really do therapy. I can just refer you to somebody, and I'm just more of a consultant or diagnostic, whatever. And
well, I'm sure to a certain extent this is a cover your ass type thing by the production company. However, a lot of shows don't do it, and I think it's better than nothing. And it was talking about how the pitches usually take about an hour, which you see 5 minutes of. And one guy I think on the air fainted. And,
that makes sense.
I'm not surprised. These are just regular people who, their whole life could change from it. Yes. And they were saying 20% of the pitches don't even make the air, don't ever get aired on TV because, they have to pick the best ones.
Yeah.
And, man, they want to make sure, even if it was a happy ending and you got exactly what you wanted, they still have to do a debriefing kind of thing.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that they do. I think more companies, maybe they should lead the way, pave the way for this kind of stuff.
Well,
they should do that on every show. I don't understand why they don't do that on The Bachelor when they lose and they're all having fucking meltdowns.
Yeah, and so you as a viewer, I'm sure you understand that they film it and then there's a gap and then it airs later, but you don't think of that. And these people will go back to their life and it's not on TV yet. And then all of a sudden the episode airs and everything changes. You really do need to be prepared for that. You could never really be prepared, but, and the showrunner on that is Clay Newbill, who's the guy who cast me on my original season.
What?
And I really love him.
That's so cool.
And I've been really struck by those original people that worked in reality from the start. At how they do seem to be responding to the need for counseling and things like that.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them. Oh my God.
I'm super happy that they're starting to do that. And I think it will only be a matter of time until that becomes the norm.
Yeah. And
they're going to see. Yeah.
Hopefully not just in a cover your ass kind of way either. In just a real concern for human beings who you're making millions of dollars off.
Right, for goodness sakes.
We have a guest today, by the way.
Oh, exciting. I didn't even know.
Before I introduce her, I just want to say that if you do have acne, like Sarah was talking about, and you're having trouble with your skin, that BioClarity is such a great option for a routine skincare. It's a 3-step thing, and they have masks as well, which I'm really enjoying using the masks. In fact, I had a makeup artist do my makeup the other day, and she goes, I can tell you take really good care of your skin. She goes, do you get facials all the time? And I'm like, I never do. I just use my routine religiously, and it's really paying off.
It's amazing.
It really is. They have a clear skin routine, an essentials routine, and then they have the clarifying mask and the hydrating mask. And these are made with natural ingredients, and they're not abrasive on your skin, so that redness and sort of, the thing where it irritates your skin when you're trying to make it look better, that doesn't happen. Get started on healthier habits with your skincare. Just go to bioclarity.com. And now when our listeners purchase a skincare routine, they're going to get a free clarifying mask with their order. So that's a $24.95 value for free, plus shipping is always free. Ooh. And it comes with 100% risk-free money-back guarantee, but you need to enter our code BRAINCANDY, a full skincare routine and a free clarifying mask when you use our code BRAINCANDY, bioclarity.com, and enter code BRAINCANDY. Our guest today is an author named Alethea Black, who wrote a wonderful memoir called You've Been So Lucky Already. And she is so cool because her dad was this famous, fancy mathematician who, won like probably friggin' every award you can win and like published in all these fancy journals and stuff like that. And she was more of like her, like a creative type person. She wasn't a math brain. And so she talks a lot about their relationship. He passed away and what that did to her as a person. And then she describes a journey she took, which we talk a lot about on this show, which is where she knew that something was wrong with her and no doctor would believe her.
Oh my gosh, that's
so common.
Yeah.
Where you'll be like, no, seriously, I'm not okay. And they're like, you know what? It's, you just need more sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's about that journey as well. And I love memoirs, but this reads like a memoir, but also like a novel because it's just fun. It's a page turner.
Now I'm dying to know what she was suffering from.
Yes, you have to read it. And she was so fun to interview as well because she's a character and she told me some funny stories about her work. So I think you'll enjoy that. And pick up her book, You've Been So Lucky Already. Let's welcome Alethea Black to the show. First of all, congratulations on your book. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. I feel good.
Do you feel like it's a relief it's out and people can consume it?
It's always a relief when it's finally out because you can't refine it anymore.
Yeah.
and of course you get with writing, there's just long stretches of work with no reward. And then you sort of get the reward all at once. You almost wish you could parcel it out.
Yeah. Are you a person that when you're writing and editing that you never feel like you're done? Like you could always do more to it?
I heard once that Tobias Wolff, even after he has stories that are anthologized and win awards, he will still edit them.
Yeah.
And I was kind of impressed by that because it's true. I'm always a little bit conflicted because on the one hand, if you see something that could be better, why not fix it? But on the other hand, you sort of feel like that was a snapshot of your vision in time, and maybe your vision has shifted a little bit, but that was true to its moment.
Yes.
So I would probably fix grammatical things, but not substance itself.
Yeah, because it would feel to me like a haunting. Like I would just be all the time picking at it. So I would almost have to close the door on the book if I were you.
Yes.
Well, at this moment in time, are you getting feedback? Do you feel like people are receiving it? Well, I love the book, by the way. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Are you feeling like you're getting the feedback that you expected?
It's always a mystery how a book is going to be received, and I was so happy when it was reviewed in the New York Times a couple weeks ago. That was incredible. And then, but that's the kind of thing that you want, that's like a life goal, but really more meaningful, I guess, on a personal level is when I get emails from people, especially with a book like this, where it was the second half deals with some health issues.
Yes.
So I get a lot of very personal emails from people talking about their own health journeys, and that's it's kind of different. It's such a personal and small experience compared to the Times, but you feel it more, or I do.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I felt like when I was reading it, my co-host and I talk a lot about that experience where oftentimes women go and report symptoms to their physicians and aren't believed or it's dismissed. And I think a lot of people could relate to your journey in that way. Is that what you're finding?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not just that, but there's so many people nowadays who have had to sort of become co-partners with their doctors or even just branch out on their own and research and read and learn. And all of those people have been, I have already been in contact with, right? Because they were they partly helped write the book when I was going through all of these things that I was already in conversation with a lot of people who have started to look at human health on their own. And so of course they are giving me feedback too. So that's been nice.
Why did you choose to share this, such a personal story? Was it scary at all or was it a no-brainer?
I just got an email a couple of weeks ago from someone in Hong Kong, and she said, I want to write a memoir about my childhood in Vietnam. What is your memoir writing advice? And I just gave her like 6 little ideas. But the first one was to write about what's emotional in your life and choose scenes that are emotionally taut. And I think and I do think that that's the number one thing. So yes, in a sense, these were the moments where I was most vulnerable, and some of them were the most painful. But then they kind of open the door for the most joyful moments or the most thankful. So you have to be sort of fearless.
You know what I did not see coming? I did not see your religious experiences coming down the pike. I was like, what? Where did this come from? Is that what you felt like at the time?
I did. I was not inclined to be such a devout believer, I think.
Yeah.
I don't really locate authority outside of myself. And that was part of what the health journey was learning to relocate it inside myself. And of course, once you locate your authority inside yourself, you locate your power inside yourself as well. And I attribute that in large part to how I was able to heal. So then the idea of being a daily Catholic mass goer is like, what? But but in that realm, as in all of the realms, I just sort of trust my heart, and I don't go for the things that don't resonate with me and that I don't believe. And so it's just, for me, it's just all about the love. And and religion should be all about the love, and I only take the love parts.
I like that. I did appreciate that, because I feel like I took the opposite journey. I used to be super religious, and then I discarded it when I got my PhD in religious studies. So you took the opposite route, but I feel like we almost ended at the same point in a way.
I think, yes. I totally hear you. And that makes a lot of sense.
When you were so you went to Harvard, you're super fancy, but like you're this person that doesn't match the stereotype. Do you feel like you're a contradiction in a lot of ways, or is that just what I project upon you?
I love that. I'll own that term any day. I think that what makes human beings cool is all our contradictions. I love to write about people with contradictions. That makes for a nice tension in a story, is if you have someone who is partly one thing and partly another. One of the things that has saved me from the whirlwind of when a book first comes out is just working on the next book.
Yeah.
Just putting your head down and getting to work again. And so the next book that I'm working on is a novel about a woman who's taking care of her mom who has Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow. That's going to be great.
Thank you.
I'm so excited already.
Oh, thank you. And as it turns out, I am taking care of my mom who has Alzheimer's.
Oh,
and
wow.
One of the scenes that I was just working on recently, in fact, was she lives in an apartment in Santa Monica, and her next door neighbor may or may not be a porn star. And she's captivated with this character whose name is Amber, because in some ways she was like her opposite, but in some ways not. And that contradict, and they end up becoming friends. And so that tension and contradiction, but affection, is what really drives their friendship. And I'm so bummed because the character that it was based on just moved out of the apartment. So I was like, wait a minute.
Come back. That's hilarious. I mean, frankly, all of our neighbors could or may not be adult porn stars. We don't know.
We don't know. And it was interesting because when I was first, our patios are next to each other with just a railing in between them. And when I first asked her what she was interested in life, what she did, she said she worked in the doll industry. And so I was thinking she was an accountant.
Stop
I'm like,
it.
wow, this is a very fit accountant.
This is the best story ever.
She was in her shorts and I was like, wow. But no, she had a Southern accent, and I had misheard adult as doll.
That is so great. And then when did it click?
It clicked. We continued chatting, and she said something where it became clear that it was not accounting that she was talking about.
Did you reveal that you misunderstood to her?
I didn't because I didn't know how she would feel about having, maybe she would have taken it as a compliment.
Girl, that's the opposite of a doll industry. It's funny that that's the book that you are working on, because I really felt like this book teed you up for a sequel, like part 2 of the memoir.
Well, so full reveal, Susie gets the inside scoop. I have a book that is sort of the sequel.
What?
And you know how in this book where it speaks sort of briefly about her life as a proofreader for a business magazine? Yeah. So I worked for 13 years as a proofreader for Business Week, and I wrote a short novel about a proofreader for a business magazine who's been missing her dead father. And of course, there's a lot about my dad in this book too, who's been missing her dead father when a stranger at Grand Central Station hands her a key. And it's sort of a Christmas novel because it's short. So it's a novel length book, but a novel, if you were watching a novel as a movie inside your head.
Yes.
So I don't know if my agent is going to move forward with that one and come on the heels of the memoir, because that, even though it's a quote unquote, no, as you can tell, I derive a lot of my material. Whether what we call it in terms of genre is somewhat fluid, but I don't know if she's going to move forward with that, which would follow on logically from the memoir in terms of content, or maybe mix it up a little and go with the mother-daughter story and then come back and pick up the thread.
All right.
So,
well, either way, I'm on board.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, whatever you got cooking. I want to talk about the dad relationship, because as I was reading your story, my dad passed away, so I was like thinking a lot about the relationships of parents and kids, and your father passes away in the book, and I'm just wondering, well, when you wrote about it, would you write anything different now, or is it the same as what you wrote down?
Well, first, I'm sorry about your dad.
I'm sorry about your dad.
What was his name?
Paul.
What was his Paul? Well, God bless him. With this, I haven't really changed what I would write about him, because that's the sad thing about memory, is that it's so static, right? You know, my impressions of him aren't really being added to at this point. But I used to dream all the time about him, and he would speak to me in dreams. And, you know, typically the dead don't often speak in dreams, which I found so interesting, because when my younger sister was pregnant with twins, it was a really difficult pregnancy, and I had wanted to be there for the birth, and I planned to be there for the birth, but then she had preeclampsia, and they had to just go in there, and it just all of a sudden she was, you know, going to be giving birth that night, and I was still in New York, and I couldn't get there to California. And I was walking to my car, and I was so sad, and I just had this sense of him telling me that it was okay, but in sign language.
What?
I was like, why is my dad like using sign language? I just had this image of him signing that she was giving birth and that it was okay.
Wow.
And I thought that was so strange. And then I thought, oh, this is more what people must speak of when they say the dead don't speak in dreams. But it was unusual for me, because typically when I dreamed about him, he would talk. So that has sort of faded. You know, he died 23 years ago.
Wow.
And I had that more when I was in your phase.
Yeah, right. I see what you're saying.
And I still had the echo of him, you know, on me, but I don't have so many of those dreams anymore.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you see him reflected in you? I know you guys are so different, but do you see him in you at all?
You know, I almost feel like it would be my honor to have somebody see him in me. He was a lot smarter. He was a lot more punctual. He was extremely candid. I mean, everyone said he was perhaps the most honest person they had ever known. And I do strive for honesty. You know, my name is the Greek word for truth. Oh, wow. And I do strive for candor. I mean, for punctuality. Oh, the other thing is punctuality. My gosh. He was on time or early.
Yeah, I'm all for that. What are you doing? That drives me crazy. Why are you late? Okay. So you're in the Fisher Black camp, because the Alethea Black camp is like, what? 5 minutes doesn't even count, first of all. And second of all, I live in Los Angeles. I should be given like a 20-minute buffer, just given. People like you drive me crazy, because I live in LA, so I give myself like hours of time to get anywhere. Oh my God, I'm here too. We should hang. No, because you'll be late. You won't show up. No, it's true. I need to, you know what? I actually need to get better about this, because I think that if I can just turn the corner, what I would love is to have that cushion of for some reason, it's like I don't want to be early. You know, I never plan to be late, but somehow I just don't want to be early. It's like that dead time it just feels like just a dead zone of waiting for, but of course then it's not cool, because then you're making the other person in the dead zone. Right? So what I would love to do is just reframe that sense of being early as like some treat. Like, oh, now I get to, you know, read that article that I wanted to read, but I couldn't, because when I'm at home and I've got my computer, I always feel like I should be working. Yes. But I feel like you're making progress. This is good. Yes. Thank you. Just in the way I'm thinking about it right now. It's better, right? Yes. It's improving. You're having a good influence. I'm really proud of you. Okay. Here's what I want to know. I want to know about this title. You've been so lucky already. Tell me why you say that. You know, the book was not originally titled that. What was it? It was called The Lonely Girl's Guide to the Cosmos. Oh, that's cute. I like that.
That was the title it was sold under. And that's the final story in the suite of stories about my life is called that. And we submitted and sold it under that title. But then my editor, who's a genius, named Laura Vanderveer, isn't that a great name too?
Yeah,
She
right.
was a heroine in a space movie. She came back and said, yeah, no, we're gonna change. Well, not we're gonna. Would you mind if we change the title? I pulled this line from one of your stories, and when you're working on a book, sometimes you internalize the title so much that you can't really picture it called anything else. But I'm not like that. This had already happened with my book of short stories. And I said, no problem.
Really?
No problem. You can change it. And so she pulled this line from a story where it was one of the stories when I'm a 20-something in Manhattan and having misadventures, and I haven't really found my way or found myself yet. And I was at one of those markets, outdoor markets, street markets, and there was a gypsy who had a tent with moon rock rings and different gemstones, and I'm sure tarot cards and that kind of thing. And she wanted to sell me a moon rock ring, and she said, it's lucky. And I said, oh, good. I could use a little luck. And she held up a mirror and said, but you've been so lucky already. Mm-hmm.
It's true, though.
Well, it's interesting because I hadn't really thought of it that way. She shifted my thinking in 1 second flat.
Do you feel lucky now, or do you feel lonely?
That is a great question, especially because of the shift that the title took from the word lonely to the word lucky. Yeah. I guess I feel both. I feel much more lucky than lonely on the whole. Yeah. But I still, lately there's been these kind of sweet lonely moments where I was in the coffee shop yesterday, and it's been a little bit of a struggle with my mom this week. And so I was just sitting there with my laptop, and all the other people were there with their laptops. And I just kind of whispered under my breath. I was like, you guys are my real family. Aww. And so it's like alone, but connected at the same time. Yes. Which is really the perfect metaphor for when you have a book come out, right when the book comes out, right? Because people are reading to you and they're writing to you, and it's like redeeming all of those solitary moments when you were putting the work into it.
Oh, that's great and hopeful. I like that. One of the other things I really love about you, as written in the book, is how you always believed yourself. Like when you had the health issues, you didn't seem to question whether, you had moments of like, what's going on here, but I feel like you believed yourself. Is that accurate?
That is. That may be the most insightful thing. I think it was my intuition, my believing of myself that really saved me, because I wasn't, and I don't know where that comes from fully. I don't fully, in large part, probably from my dad, who was an iconoclast, and he just didn't, he was very intuitive and very inwardly driven. But I did, that part of me became very strong when I was sick. And when they tried to say, your digestive system and your nervous system are not working because you have anxiety, I just said, no, I have anxiety because my digestive system and my nervous system are not working. And I think that's a shift that people have not fully made yet, right? When they feel disempowered, when they excessively submit, and just because that's the default position a lot of times, right? If doctors can't figure out what's wrong, let's just give them an antidepressant, just put them on anti-anxiety drugs. Mm-hmm. And I just knew there was something physically wrong with me, because I knew, I was 40 by the time I got sick. Mm-hmm. So I knew my personality. I knew it wasn't me to be feeling like that. Right. So, and I knew that problem wasn't that I was deficient in Lexapro. I knew there was a real problem. Something was physically wrong. And thankfully I didn't just, kowtow and take a prescription and go on my way, because there really was a root cause. And even after the book ends, I kept researching and kept looking into health, and I wound up with this blog. I don't know if you looked at it, where in the Times Review they link to it and quote from it. It's called Welcome to Heaven, and it looks at human health through the lens of quantum physics.
I love it.
Because I think we're more than cells and mitochondria. I think we're light. We're light, and we follow light's rules.
My God, I wonder what your dad would say.
He wrote his PhD thesis on physics, and I am no kind of physicist. So it's so spooky and ironic that I wound up getting sick and then looking at health through the lens of physics, because that's so my dad.
I love it.
I wish I could have had a million conversations with him about it.
That's so cool. We should all be so lucky already, I should say. That's very, very cool. We have one question we ask everybody at the end, which is, what do you keep in the trunk of your car?
Oh, that's a great question. I have it's great. I have some jumper cables in there.
Okay.
I have a case of glass bottles of water in case I'm in my car when the earthquake comes. But there's not going to be an earthquake. Of course, there isn't going to be any kind of anything like that. But should there be, I've got some water. I've got some little bit of flashlighty roadside assistance, matches and tweezers.
Wow. Tweezers.
Some kind of emergency kit. I don't even remember what's in there.
But you're ready, whatever it is.
Apparently I thought I would need some tweezers for the apocalypse.
Your eyebrows have to look good. This is important. You have priorities.
But some kind of there's an emergency pack in there. And then just some dog.
I was going to say, I know you have dog stuff.
Yeah, there's dog stuff in there, I'm sure. Some dog pee-pee pads and toys.
I love that. That is so fitting. The trunk question is always fitting of wherever you are in your life, we think.
It's so true. I'm going to ask that on dates from now on. What is in the trunk of your car?
It's always alarming to me when people say nothing. Like, that's the worst, because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, their soul might be empty, too.
I'm not sure that I would know what to do with nothing.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure. I mean, at least some jumper cables.
Yeah, anything. A sweater? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I got a couple sweaters back there. Sorry, I forgot that. Got a couple sweaters. Yeah. And maybe a parka, too, because what if you get stranded and then you can't get back and then it's, cold?
Yeah. It concerns me when a person doesn't say what if, and that's what it is if you have nothing back there. That's what I'm saying. That's my theory.
I really do think we could hang. If I could figure out how to be on time, I think...
I'm available. So you just let me know, and I'll just show up a few minutes later than I normally would.
Yes.
You're off the hook. I just hope everyone reads the book and enjoys it as much as I did, because there's so much there, but it's so enjoyable to read. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
And we will let you know whenever we post this. And I just hope you keep getting great feedback.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been my best chat.
Oh, good. I mean, maybe the bar was set low. Who knows? But it was a pleasure.
All the other ones were just between me and the dog.
I hope your week gets better, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much, Susie. You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.